Right. Good morning, everyone. Today we are going to dive into two foundational ideas in natural selection. This is variation and overproduction, and how they work together to drive evolution. Now, why this matters for IB biology? This concept is directly from the IB biology syllabus, specifically the natural selection or the evolution unit. So, understanding variation plus overproduction helps us explain how selection pressures act on populations, or how fitness works, and how allele frequencies change over time. It also builds the foundation for more advanced topics like the types of natural selection, which is the directional, stabilizing, and disruptive, speciation, and of course, even biodiversity. So, this is a very good starter of this lesson. What is the meaning of the term paradigm shift? I know that you heard this many times in your TOK, and it says here that a paradigm is a distinct set of concepts that define a scientific discipline. So, of course, this is evolution. So you will be hearing a lot from Darwin, and also, of course, the inheritance of acquired characteristics, which is the Lamarckism. So first, let's talk about variation. In any population, whether it's rabbits, bacteria, or oak trees, individuals are not all the same. There are differences. So these differences are known as the variation. Why does variation exist? We have two big sources. Number one is mutation. So mutation, this is the random changes in DNA that can produce new alleles. Number two, sexual reproduction. Processes like meiosis, crossing over, I hope that you can remember that, and random fertilization shuffle alleles, creating diverse combinations. Importantly, natural selections requires variation. So if everyone in a population were exactly the same, there would be no advantageous trait for the environment to favor. So if there is an endemic or pandemic, possibly extinction happen to a specific species if there is no variation. If they are all green, and then here comes a virus that kills all the green, um, that means that species possibly will be extinct because they're all vulnerables with that green virus. That's just an example. So having variety of species of having variation within a species is very important, and that is to preserve a lineage or a group of organism, a species. So also variation can be continuous, like height, which can take a wide range of values, or discrete, like blood groups. So, mm, next will be the overproduction offspring. So, this is another key plank of Darwin's theory. Simply put, many species produce more offspring than the environment can support. So, why would species waste energy by making so many offspring? Because most of them won't survive. So, this is not inefficient. It's actually strategy. By overproducing, the odds increase that some will survive under changing conditions. So the consequence of overproduction is competition. Not all offspring can get enough resources like food, space, or light. So they end up competing for survival. I think um, we've learned in the past about the intra-specific interaction, which is an interaction within species. So this competition is critical. It's what creates a struggle for survival. Only some individuals will survive long enough to reproduce, and which ones survive may depend on their traits, which leads to the natural production. So putting it together, how they drive natural selection. Because of variation, some individuals are better suited to the environment than others. Because of overproduction, because of the overproduction, there are more um, individuals than the environment can support, meaning not everyone will survive. Third, when you combine those two, you get competition. So the individuals that favorable trait with the favorable traits are more likely to survive and reproduce. Over time, those favorable traits become more common in the population, and this is natural selection in action. So this process helps explain how populations can evolve. So advantageous alleles increase in frequency, of course. So there are examples like mosquitoes, moths, and bacteria. I don't think we have it here. Um, right? Like for mosquitoes, a female mosquito can lay hundreds of eggs, but most larvae will die before reaching adulthood. So maybe due to predators or the lack of food, which is the same as well for moths. They cannot actually, I mean, they can survive in polluted area, but they have to change themselves a little bit. So if you remember about the reason why moths um, dark colored, which are dark colored, changes. I mean, from white color, they change to dark color to camouflage. And this is their way of surviving. And of course, and this trait, as they mutated, they pass it on the next generation. So bacteria as well. So when bacteria reproduce, they produce many offspring. And in the presence of antibiotics, only those with resistance may survive and multiply. Okay, so I will be sending you an activity that is related to this. Thank you very much, and I'll see you. Goodbye.